Welcome to the DJ MC Buzz Show, broadcasting live to you, featuring DJ StevoD, bringing you the daily grind and life of a DJ MC.
Hey, yo, DJ StevoD. It is Tuesday. I believe it's the 9th. Yes, January 9th. Guys, can you believe it? 9 days ago, we brought in 2024 into effect. I think that's pretty good. It sure is. So anyway, today, going to be a little bit brief. I know last week we talked about just getting on set with this year. And wanted to continue that conversation because, I always share like gig logs, etc. We'll have more guests this year, I promise you. A couple are out of commission today, that's why. So anyway, Johnny P was going to be on the mic with us, and he is battling some health issues. And so anyway, wanted to talk about this week and this month. And I'm taking a different approach, right? And I think I've explained to you all that my wife and I are campers. And we have a seasonal campsite, Arrowhead Campground, New Madison, Ohio. Yay, okay. And love it. So, October, September, a lot of these brides, grooms, and man, right out of the gate, the leads are pouring in. Leads are pouring in for weddings. And again, we've talked about the same situation. How much for a wedding? Okay, give me more info. How much for a Big Mac value meal? I couldn't tell you today. It's every bit of $8, $9, right? So I don't know. So anyway, different approach this year. I'm being more strategic. Early on gigs, I'm pretty wrapped up for January, February, March, April, May, maybe one in June, maybe I'll do one or two in July, August, maybe one, September, maybe one. I've got two in October, someone from the campground, the granddaughter, and I also have the kids and adults dance at the campground. Stay tuned for that. That is incredible. This is the third year doing that. Last year we did 3 events there. Pretty cool, but I'm preparing for a couple school dances. January 27th, I just met at Little Miami with a wonderful, wonderful PTO crew in the gym. And here's what I'm getting at. We talked about gear and we talked about setting yourself up. And no, I'm not going to go out and buy it, but it is going to be a glow party. They're charging $20 a couple. That means like kid and parent, right? Kid and parent. Glow dark stuff, and the school brand new. They got it's a very nice school. Yeah. So anyway, met with them yesterday. I rented from American Lighting 6 black light Canon lights. They're huge. They're 280 watts, right? And that's something in my repertoire other than Halloween. No. What are they going to do? Sit in a box. So the cool thing is, and here's what I'm talking about, plan your year successfully. And don't turn down things if you don't have things. Be resourceful. So I am renting these lights. Yeah, the school is paying. I told them it's $580 to rent these. Now, part of that includes they ship these in a big shipping box to me, right? 2 days before the event. And then after the event, I ship them back. Must be shipped no later than 2 days after, but they pay for the shipping. So yeah, it's probably $100 in shipping, right? Okay, however, those lights are $280 to $500 a piece. 6, then the tripods. I did 2 singles for corners of the gym, 2 doubles in the middle of the gym, and possibly 2 others in the back, but I don't think I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna span and span and contrast those black lights. Tour it around, and I'm telling you, the venue walkthroughs are especially important. Not only with brides and grooms, but also with corporate events, school dances, any private event, because you don't know what you're walking into. I wanted to go over power. There are no bleachers in this gym, so that's a beautiful thing. You're not hiking and climbing through to get power cables. So it's more narrow. However, they're going to have It's going to be for second and third graders, and so it is from 5 till 8:30, 9-ish. An hour and a half per each session, per each grade, right? They have 900 kids in both classes. Well, together. So they're expecting about half, about 450. Okay, that's cool. So you got to have a lot of coverage for these. But again, being resourceful this year, if you don't have it, don't turn it down, but see. Always say, let me get back to you on that. And I know these people are like, well, I need an answer now. Well, okay, but then if we said, hey, do you want to book now? Oh, let me think about it. You can't have your cake and eat it both ways. However, there's another way to skin the cat, or say it like, look, I don't have them in my repertoire of equipment. However, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I do believe I can get them. It is going to cost extra because it is something that most DJs, MC companies are not going to have, and you can call my competitors. They will not have these lights. They just don't. It's $1,200 and 6 lights. If you're at 200, probably about $2,000, just to sit there, hoping that someone wants a glow in the dark party. But American Lighting sends these out all the time because they're nationwide. So that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So cool. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I was yesterday. Got another school. Kettering YMCA. It used to be Indian Princess Indian Guides. I grew up in that program way back. I'm not even going to tell you when. Nope, I'm not going to tell you when. But I grew up in that program. Okay. So now it is Adventure Princesses, and this is the 3rd year in a row. The father-daughter dance at the Mandalay in Dayton, Ohio. Big event. We're doing photo booth, and we are doing all the last year. I did it. Last year was when I still had the JBLs. It was the last event for the JBL Eon series, 18-inch subs and 15-inch dual ways. Love those. And again, people laugh and they say, why are you using Eons? Well, okay. But if you follow great DJs, and I've followed him since he was in school, DJ Rick Webb, shout out to you. DBX Drive Rack. I ran lights and sound for bands. Used a DBX Drive Rack, not in the capacity for a DJ, but for a band. And it worked really good. Running QSC 153 3-ways, heavy speakers. Looks like Metallica coming in with the road case. 4 QSC, KW181 18-inch subs. Good God, thunder. But DJ Rick Webb showed how to use this correctly. So it doesn't matter what speakers you have. So anyway, the week after that event last year, a guy from Columbus bought the Eon 615, 618s and loved them. Sold them at a good price to him. They were only a year and a half old. Beautiful. Flawless. Girls flawless. I always take care of my gear. Always have covers on them. But this year, the fairy tale, right? I told everyone I just, last spring, and I had to wait on the 18-inch subs. They sent the wrong color. And LFX. Danny Stowe. Ben Stowe, everyone knows Ben Stowe, but Danny Stowe, his brother, hooked me up, and then they said the wrong color. Finally, I got them, and no big deal, but they would have been at the YMCA last year. But I have all white ELX 200s, EV, self-powered. They sound no knock on JBL, but Electro Voice, you know what you're doing. And I knew that when I was still using JBL, but I introduced the Evolve 50M column array speakers into my repertoire of equipment, and I haven't looked back. Again, wish that they came out with an Evolve 80 or 100M, let's say 15 or 18. Not going to happen. Probably too big, but 212s would be awesome, right? 212s, double. Call it Evolve or Evolve 60 for the 50, Evolve 50 M2, M squared for 212s. That'd be stupid, crazy. Boom, and there went Windows. Excited about it. So that I will be doing all white gear, all LED tube lighting, because we didn't even have the Chauvet. Hands out to Chauvet. I got the Wellsticks 180, love them. Didn't go the 360 because I'm not hanging them in a bar from the ceiling where the light is going all different directions. It's one direction, and that's toward the dance floor. Love them. They have changed the world. And then with the Wolf Mix ADJ, Wolf Mix WMX1, it took some time getting used to it, but I am used to it. And I'll tell you, Sound Switch, no pun to all of you using Sound Switch. I ordered once, tried it, couldn't figure it out, sent it back. Ordered the Wolf Mix and Sound Switch again. And here's the funny thing, didn't realize that I still had a subscription, been paying on it for 6 months. Didn't know. Tried both side to side, sent the Sound Switch back again, second time, right? So Sound Switch no more, squared. Anyway, looking forward to school events, and this year, again, like I said, I am banking events early on so that I can free up some fall weather. And that's not, it's not conceited, it's not selfish, but last year I took on too many projects, September, October, and didn't really get to enjoy the fall season, except for a trip with camping buddies to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. It was incredible. So you always need a break, but that's my, that's what I've been doing this week, putting together, there's a bunch of school dances out there, and quite honestly, hands again out to DJ Rick Webb and some of these guys I've been following on YouTube for years. You know, when you're dealing with lighting and sound companies, and like you're a DJ, like, okay, so Rick Webb has a Fusion Sound. He started as a DJ, but okay, now he installs sound equipment. Okay, he can do larger events, but sometimes, you know, even he said, bringing a sound lighting guy for some of these big corporate events with the trusses and everything and the cross braces and everything. That's crazy. The schools around here, it's so funny because they're not watching YouTube to see these big school dances like proms. But it's like, whoa, we don't have the budget for that. Yeah, you kind of do. And you know, when you got a class of seniors that is like, I was the smallest graduating class in Centerville High School, Kirk Street, AJ Hawk, right? My graduating class was 559. That was the smallest class in years. I'm not going to say what year, but now they're like 850, 750, 850, 900 seniors, right? So you got money, right? You've got money. But that's kind of a repertoire that, unless you throw your hat in the mix, and some of the smaller school dances, that's my way of throwing it in the mix, because the last thing I want to do is, okay, well, I told you it's going to be X amount, and now I got to add another $1,000 on because I got to bring in this lighting crew to do what they do, and you know, being a subcontractor or a contractor, right, or a GC, it's kind of cool. I like it. I had a wedding this last fall where I had to. Another competitor ran the Cold Sparks just for the grand entrance. He was there 3 hours just to run the entry of Cold Sparks. My God. Wow, I should have bought Cold Sparks. However, most venues around here in Dayton, Cincinnati don't allow you to use them inside because the magnesium content, the afterburn, as I would call it, the afterburn. Yep, it shoots out magnesium particles that land on the floor, and it's a pain to clean up. And quite honestly, the maintenance on them. Once he did his job, he left for an hour and said, hey, I'll be back later this evening. Here's the remote, play around with it. But if you don't clean those things out correctly, that powder dust that you use, which is not cheap, and it's kind of like, hey, use this bag and use it all. He's told me, go ahead and play around with it. Well, it was literally afterburn. It was just sputtering, and then nothing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not about that, you know, not until they kind of fix that the right way, you know. So, that's my story on Cold Sparks. They're cool. A lot of venues here will let you use them for grand exits, but up around here, a lot of big sparklers. That's a big sparkler, thing. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. It's DJ StevoD. I really thank everyone for listening in. If you like this, or you have any comments, suggestions, look, make a comment, right? Like it, love it. I'd rather you like it, right? I'd rather you like this so that we can continue on with our keeping on. We're going to have a lot of different things on this show. This is, got Got some technology coming. Gonna try to implement the ATEM Mini switcher so we can go from computer back and forth. A lot of editing when you do videos to YouTube. So my goal is by February is we're going live on YouTube, direct live, like right now. Like I'll be pushing buttons, right? I'll be pushing buttons with that computer, yes, and making things happen. You know what I mean? Making things happen. So tune in for the next episode. I love being on this. I love just talking to anyone out there listening about the DJ MC craft. And again, keeping it real. Remember, get your brand out there. Have conversations with people. Don't take no for an answer. Call them back. Like, hey, on Bark, I send information. I ask them to call me back. I try to call them, nothing. And then all of a sudden, it says closed. That means they've gone with someone else. And then I keep calling them. Hey, you know what? Until you tell me you've moved on, professionally speaking, just like you with your job, if you had customers and you were waiting on an answer, don't you think it's professional to tell them, hey, you know what? My cousin Johnny's going to do it. I have fun with that, MCing. But anyway, no shape, no form, no rhyme, no reason. Be courteous to fellow humans, right? Especially, hey, brides, grooms. Look, we are there to make your day magical. And I always tell them, my job is to make sure you've captured it all before you blink your eye. And I do a damn good job on that. And we customize everything here. But if you're not willing to have a conversation, like the schools love it. They want to know. 2, get insured. To do schools, to do most events, you got to be insured. Insurance is dirt cheap. Trust me, I got $1 million with a $2 million max policy. It's all you really need. It's overkill. However, it is what it is. Have conversations. Build rapport. If you're not building rapport, the customers that you don't need anymore, because they need to feel warm and fuzzy, and you need to feel warm and fuzzy. It's an interview process both ways, and that's what I tell people when I get them on the phone and they get it. The ones that get it, so how much? Okay, again, we're not going to go into used car salesman, but how much for a car? How much for your hair dryer? How much for your can of dip? Well, what kind? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what we need. We need to master our craft, master the conversation, but listen to me, polite and respectful. But listen, get them talking, because once they start talking, they'll tell you your dreams, and the schools do it. I've noticed that even more so this year, and I am looking forward to a great school dance season. I think I have like 5 in the books for early on this year. That's January, February, March. So I'm pretty pleased. Those are good, and I like them, and it's not a lot of time. I'm an overachiever, and 2 to 3 hours before. 2 hours is minimum now, because the setup just works. And there you have it. So tune in next week, Tuesday. And if you're not on TikTok, it's DJ StevoD on TikTok. I do a Tech Thursday where we talk about some sort of technical issue, gear, piece, something kind of like this Rodecaster mix, this podcast board. But cool, man. So later. Love y'all. Peace out. Yeah. Like it.
Thanks for listening to the DJ MC Buzz Show featuring DJ StevoD. Stay dialed in for the next episode.